Hi, it's Joy and today I'm going to be watching The Witcher Season 1 Episode 7 Before a Fall. This is the penultimate episode. Everything is building up. I feel like Geralt and Yennefer can't be too far behind Ciri's plotline anymore. It's probably only a matter of years. And yeah, Ciri's alone. I am in love with this show. I'm in awe of how much I love this show. Geralt is fantastic. Henry Cavill is amazing as Geralt. I'm in love with Yennefer. I love Ciri. I'm just so invested in this show already and I'm really scared because final 2 episodes are never like, excuse me, I don't know if you heard that, sorry, to optimize your PC. I will later. Final episodes are never smooth sailing, they're always stressful, which is going to be amazing, but yeah. Just a quick reminder that if you would like to watch the unedited version of my reaction, that is up on my Patreon right now. You can see all of Season 1 unedited already, and the edited version is also already up for all of Season 1. I believe the poll... Oh God, just dropping my phone on the floor. What is happening today? I believe the poll... Yeah, the poll is now finished on Patreon for the new show. But it will have been announced on what the new show is that is replacing on Patreon and will be starting very shortly. So yeah, I love this show. Let's go. Yeah. Not good.
I told you last time I was in Cintra that I wasn't coming back.
Yet here you are.
Oh, is he here the time? Is this when Nilfgaard was about to attack Cintra?
You've come for your child of surprise. The Queen's done everything she can to keep her family safe from threats.
She's not gonna succeed.
The gates.
Oh God. Who are these people? Are these Cintrans that don't want him to claim Ciri?
Geralt!
Reports from the ML Pass.
Her worst fear is him.
Move along, Witcher. I'll pay whatever you want.
I can't be bored.
He could have helped so much.
But if you have any doubt in your mind...
So he did go back for her.
Give her to me. I will take her, protect her, and bring her back unharmed. I promise you that.
He's an honourable man. My God, she could have averted so much. She could have averted so much. Instead of sending her away in the middle of the siege, Calanthe, her pride and her ego was always the doom of her. However much she might have tried to do the right thing.
We've got sight more than you do. Ruth?
She seems like an honourable woman, but is she? Or is she literally just going to steal the horse? Oh, Ciri, my love. Or did they give him some random girl that wasn't Ciri? Oh, he just wanted to protect the real Ciri. You brought doom. I'm proud of Geralt for actually coming back to honour.
Summon you when she's ready.
Geralt, what's happening? Like, is destiny leading him to the real Ciri? Or... Yeah.
Anton.
There she is!
What? No.
Aha. He heard that. So he knows that was just a girl.
Ciri is safe with me.
She's not actually.
Over my throat. An army, a navy, and me.
Ego and pride. Exactly.
She needs family.
She
You know nothing about that. Her own mother cared so little she discarded you.
You lecture me on a mother's love, yet offer up someone else's daughter.
Yep. I love Geralt. I mean, I would have totally understood if he'd always run from his destiny with the whole Laura Surprise thing, because he didn't intend it and he didn't mean it. I mean, he meant it because you can't unmean it, but like, he didn't want to get tangled up in a dynasty and a princess and all that kind of stuff. But I love him for the fact that when he heard Cintra was being threatened, he went to help and he went to look up to take Ciri to safety, and you know, like, he actually tried to do the right thing, which of course he did because he's Geralt of Rivia and he's amazing. But when his like world was crumbling, you could totally justify, like, be okay with the fact with him like withdrawing and just going alone. But the fact that he actually wanted to come and try and save her and do right by destiny when he'd been trying to run from it all this time, I salute you and I love you even more than I thought I did.
I fight side by side with my queen.
Yep, and
You
then
put too much faith in that woman.
you will all die and so you'll be left alone.
Eat your promise you won't come back.
If I hear Ciri's in danger, you know I can't do that.
Yes. Seriously.
I know.
My God. Was he here the whole time? Is he actually going to be imprisoned the whole time in Cintra? I'm in love with this show. Oh. Is that why she's here?
The runes described a magnolith in the Zia.
I like that they're on better terms.
Wow, that's a face. You hate it that much?
Only because I have taste buds.
Well, these people was...
Sounds to me like you bought in.
It does.
No. See, the Yennefer I remember didn't miss anyone.
Yeah, well.
She's evolving.
Sorry you chose power.
She did. But you get why with her past, if you don't like it. Yeah, too late. But you have come through everything you've been through stronger.
His loss. Arethusa.
Mm.
Well, the feeling's mutual. The chapter
Someone
thinks you're
needs
rash,
to stand up
rather
against Nilfgaard.
dangerous. She said you're the best student she ever taught.
Bit more flattery. It's true, no doubt, but more young, idealistic girls.
To say I can wait.
Fine, I'll just follow the sound of crying girls.
She has no idea you're here.
Oh, she didn't even ask for her.
Fuck that old bag. Who wants to know what those herbs are really good for?
She's gonna lead all these girls astray, and good for her.
It's overrated.
Yep. And you are beautiful.
I'm levitating. Your parents paid Arethusa.
Ooh.
The chapter decided it.
Lesson's not over yet.
Just because you fucked it up doesn't mean we will. Come on.
With all the magical talent of shoe leather, you'll have a home here forever. Lucella.
The terrible truth.
Follow their rules. That's still no guarantee you'll get what you want.
No.
Back to your rooms, girls.
It's just telling them the truth. But this is going to be one conversation.
You say I never took responsibility for the way my life turned out.
Neither did
What
you.
about you?
Or killing babies born at an eclipse.
If Cintra falls, who cares?
I care, because our kingdoms will be next.
Are these girls standing up for
It
themselves?
was Cintra, but
Oh.
only Cintra. But I will defend our way of life.
Yeah.
Brotherhood, the academies, the order that we have built up over centuries.
And everyone else's
You
cultures and
rejected
orders.
all for-
We have a chance of saving it.
Yeah, by slaughtering most of the people. I literally cannot believe he was in Cintra during the attack.
We have called them a lost cause for years.
This would be
We
the moment.
stopped trying to.
Continue their proud tradition of fending for themselves.
Are you going to help protect the next kingdom? Yeah, at what point are you going to finally step in?
Did you hear a word I just said? Why would I protect this?
If you will not do it for the Brotherhood, then do it for me.
Oh, God. They have quite a messed up relationship, but they do genuinely care about each other, but there's been a lot of manipulation here. And also, Nilfgaard, like, it's very much one sided. Even if they are making things better for the people they're
Have
invading,
you used that word before?
they're still invading. Yeah, very significant. Oh gosh.
Majesty.
Destiny may yet side with us.
Now you realise, Calanthe. He was here! Is he trying to get to Ciri?
She is out there. That there is still hope for her.
Should have thought of that earlier. You could have sent her to safety. Which I've said from the very beginning, they could have sent her to safety far long ago. I didn't know Geralt was literally here for her, poor child.
To be brave.
Yeah. I know, my love. I cannot believe he was literally in Cintra. I still cannot believe it.
Princess, come.
Watch for the signs. What signs these shall be, I say unto you.
You're not going to say those signs onto us, I'm afraid. Well, because I'd actually quite like to hear him, Geralt. Yeah, Ciri's gone, my sweetheart. But not like dead gone, like needs you gone. Girl in the woods, remember that saying?
What kind of crazy person talks to a horse?
Geralt of Rivia, your destiny.
It's all right.
Oh god. These creepy
Alright,
men
the
that followed
Cintra.
her.
Anton, you made it out. You're all right.
I told you it was her at the market.
Oh.
Hey,
Nilfgaard's looking for you. I'm willing to pay a barrel of oils too.
Geralt.
sorry for what happened.
She's a
Sorry
child.
your family got hurt. No.
Oh my gosh. You're special, remember? Oh gosh.
Verily, I say unto you, the era of the sword and the axe is nigh. The era
Oh.
of the blizzard. The time of the white chill and the white light is nigh. The time of madness and the time of contempt.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I'm so glad I'm pitching the show. I'm in love with the show. The fact that Geralt was there in the first episode blows my mind. Like, they really set us up to think that Geralt just was not interested in this Destiny thing, and I thought he was going to hear about the fall of Cintra after the fact, and then be like, damn it, I could have been there. But of course he heard about the army approaching, he knew that Cintra was in danger, and he went there and he tried to get Ciri to safety. And I remember in the first episode, I was like, why wouldn't you send her to safety before the battle, so that just in case the city falls, she's already safe? But of course it was Calanthe's pride, and the more we saw of her, the more we saw that she had that arrogance and that pride. And in some ways it was like deserved because she'd been so glorious and victorious, but we also know that she wasn't exactly the kindest, most caring queen with her subjects. But knowing Geralt was there and that she could have been is even more of a blow, that like she could have been safe all of this time. In some ways, having to survive by herself will have helped build up her strength, like her personal strength, because she's gone from being like a sort of pampered princess to being a girl that has just got to survive, which will probably help her in the long run. It's maybe shown her some more of the hardships that people face. You know, if she'd have immediately had a protector, she probably wouldn't have had to toughen up quite as much. I don't know. I mean, she's still a baby. I don't really want her to have had to toughen up because she's a child, but it might help her having kind of seen the desperation and the hatred that the poorer people, the lesser people, the peasants feel about how they were treated might make her do better if she ever does manage to become the queen. So Geralt being there the whole time was just amazing. So yeah, Calanthe really brought her own doom down on herself. I was kind of thinking maybe it was partly Geralt's fault, but he did his best. So that was amazing. And then he escaped, he made it into he didn't escape and then literally flee, he escaped and then went looking for Ciri, but of course by that point the castle had fallen and Ciri was fleeing, and I'm guessing Geralt has been in the area this whole time looking for her. I guess he would have felt if she died, or it would probably be like, if those people, those Cintrans, knew that Nilfgaard was looking for her, then he'll also know. So I hope he's following her trail. Maybe he'll run into Darrow next episode and he'll be able to help him find her, and then they can be reunited. But yeah, that was just amazing to think that he did go back to Cintra. I love it. Like I said, I wouldn't have been like cross with him if he hadn't, because he doesn't really want to believe in it and believe in destiny. And that maybe after the fact he'd have been like, well, now I need to go and fulfill my destiny. But he was doing his best and he was there, which is everything. And it was really cool to revisit that pilot episode with all the knowledge we have now, and to kind of follow Geralt's path through that episode, and to sort of remember where Ciri came from. So then with Ciri, you know, we've seen she's alone now, she's desperate, she's despairing of the world, she doesn't really believe in people, but she still has that weakness that when she sees someone she knew and trusted from home, she lets her guards down and thinks, I'm safe, good person, friend, when obviously at the end it wasn't. And we've seen that she doesn't have money, so she's stealing food, she's stealing, well, she was tempted to steal the glove, she's stealing a horse from a woman that might have been kind. She seemed perfectly kind and sweet, but she also might have been trying to use her in some way. You just cannot trust anyone. And also Ciri wants to get to wherever it was that she needs to get to, where she thinks Skellig, where she thinks Geralt is. I don't entirely know why they think that he's there, but maybe it's just the nearest town. Could that be it? I think actually no, it's just the nearest town, isn't it? But yeah, so she's just kind of desperate now. Talking to a horse. Who talks to a horse? Geralt. Geralt talks to a horse. But I just... he's nearby, or at least he was in Cintra. His timeline has caught up with hers, which is amazing, which Yennefer's has as well. And kind of that ending where those men that spotted her, they recognised her as the princess. They know that she is worth her weight in gold to the Nilfgaard, or at the very least might be worth like a comfortable life in Nilfgaard if they can return her over. But then of course her magic activated, and it seems similar to what happened to the mother when she was trying, when her hedgehog boyfriend was threatened and she kind of was saying those words, and I think they may have been the same words. And it's fascinating because Ciri was saying on the time of the sword and the axe or whatever is coming, and that is exactly what the Frangella said, like that is the prophecy is to do with that. So Ciri, we knew she was part of the prophecy, but it's even part of her magic, and I'm still fascinated to learn the origin of this magic, the origin of why this family has the magic. I know it came through the grandmother, but why did it come through, like why? It's different from like the mages. Who exactly is Ciri in that sense? We know she's special, but why? I cannot wait to learn more. It's probably going to be season 2 we learn more about that, but I'm still yeah. And you know, when she's threatened and she screams a lot, it activates, and that is something we've seen consistently. That's something we've seen with the mother. Is Geralt going to be nearby and hear that and sense her and find her finally? Is Nilfgaard going to be nearby and hear her and find her? It's quite stressful, but I also I'm just in love with this show. That was not much of a comment. And then we see Yennefer after the heartbreak of the last episode where she found out that she will never be able to have children. And that she thought she'd found everything she'd ever wanted with Geralt, in the sense of someone that accepted her and loved her and thought she was important to them, to then find out that as far as she's concerned it was all a lie, it was just djinn magic. And so she leaves him and she goes back to her first love. And I truly do think that if she had the mindset she's got now when they were younger, she and Istrid may well have been able to find peace and be happy. And I know I was quite angry with Istrid back in that episode for how he was speaking to her, because it was true that she was choosing power. It was true that she was choosing looks and beauty and power over what truly does matter. But at the same time, when you know the life she's lived and the torture she'd been through, you can understand why she would do that, even if you don't agree with it, even if you think, as I did, I wish you could see that that wasn't everything, that, you know, changing how you look isn't just going to magically make you feel better. I still think that he got too angry with her. But I know he's only human. I wasn't hating on him, but I was a bit like, well, fuck you. And so this episode, I like to hear that he felt awful after they broke up, that he kept trying to get back with her, but that was back when she was trying to she wanted to be a powerful mage still. That was back when she believed in it all, or at least was trying to, and she spurned him. And now at this point, he's moved on, he's dedicated to his work, he is okay with Nilfgaard, and so he turned her away. And I think that is realistic. I think you can't just go back to an old flame and be like, hey, so I like you again. But I thought that was showed an important moment for Yennefer, that she is progressing. And I don't think if he'd have been like, yes, let's be together, it wouldn't have been the healthiest of options for her, because she doesn't, their love was old. Their love was when they were both kids. And that's almost running from the fact that she doesn't like her current fate to try and hide in a dream from the past. But then that other mage coming and then going back to Arethusa, I always want to call it Arethusa, and that was a adventure park, or like a residential like adventure thing I went to in year 4 at primary school. But Arethusa, she went back, and seeing the school, seeing that it was always a bit corrupt, you know. They're all going on about like, well, maybe if she'd gone to Nilfgaard instead. And it's like, yeah, but the only reason you wanted her to go to Nilfgaard was because you thought Nilfgaard was some backwater with creepy men, and you didn't want Frangella to go there. Maybe if Frangella had more of a backbone and didn't get swayed by zealotism, extremism, I don't know. But don't blame it all on Yennefer. Yes, if things have gone differently, but maybe if you'd sold it to Yennefer as this would be amazing, you'd be the most powerful mage ever, if you'd gone there, she'd have happily gone. But no, so that the idea of the whole meeting, seeing the mage from the other episode, was she one of the ones that was at school with Yennefer? Because I didn't recognise her in that episode, and I'll be annoyed if she was and I just missed it. But I liked seeing her again, kind of familiar faces. We definitely saw some of the other people were definitely the girls she went to school with. And I love that we got to see Yennefer's returning to this place and realising that while by the time, okay, right when she left, it wasn't a happy place, but she got to a place where she felt important and special there, but that this place actually was a place with a lot of manipulation and lies and abuse, and she definitely does not feel too good about pushing her real friend into the water. I mean, still, like, oh, my best friend, my first ever friend, you're an eel now, go swim. But still quite heartless, but again, I can understand the mindset Yennefer was in back then. She couldn't see it all, but I think she regrets that. And I kind of liked her attitude with wanting to try and shake those girls into realizing it's not all some fairy tale story where you get whisked away to a magic school and everything's wonderful, that you might become eels. I mean, if they were all daughters of like super powerful magnates, then they're not going to end up as eels, are they? They're going to end up as like minor mages. But I think it's interesting to suggest that maybe anybody can learn the magic without a conduit moment. But it shows you that Aretusa is even in more dire straits than it was, that they are needing, I guess, the funding and the support of rich nobles, so they're bringing their daughters in. But there will still be some, like, Yennefer who truly needed it. And I don't think it's the best environment. I think it could be a much more supportive, caring and loving environment, especially for young people and young people that have been through a lot. But it is still, I suppose, a very necessary place. And there are definitely some mages there that are good and some that are not. And it's the same ones from before. And I love the idea that they're split, that there are some of them that just want to leave Cintra to it. And there are the others that are like, yeah, okay, Cintra might suck, but Nilfgaard is a big threat. And again, like, maybe Nilfgaard is making conditions better for the poor people. And that is a good thing. I'm not like, you know, I don't believe in monarchies. But if you're in a fantasy kingdom where there are monarchies, the monarch's job should be to provide for all of their people, to make sure that no one is impoverished, especially not if they're living a rich life. And I hope that's the kind of ruler Ciri would become if she does get to become a ruler. But invading and slaughtering populations that resist against you and then forcing your way of life on people is also not good. You know, people, idiots, try to be like, well, yes, the British Empire wasn't all bad because, you know, we brought medicine to the colonies and we gave them civilization. And it's like, yeah, no, they didn't ask to be conquered. You know, if truly medicine is something you were so proud of giving, you could have just like said, hey, we've got this medical knowledge. If you want to use it, here it is. You did not need to invade them. But to Nilfgaard is not good. They are religious extremists trying to force their way of life on everybody. And there may be some benefits to it that would attract people that are desperate, and I understand that. But yeah, it's very scary. And those kind of, they're such stereotypical kind of like pompous old men who are like, we're so powerful. That kingdom spurned us, so screw them. And what was their plan going to be? So now Cintra's fallen. Are they going to step in to help the next kingdom? I feel like they're the sort of people that would try and make some kind of an alliance with Nilfgaard to let them conquer everyone as long as the Brotherhood can stay the same. And they even call it the Brotherhood, despite the fact that I thought they were like two separate organisations, but nope. So I like the fact that Tissaia and the new dude and some of the other people, they want to fight back, that they are going to fight. Now, obviously they were too late for Cintra, but I'm very intrigued to see, like, are they going to fight back against Nilfgaard in the next episode? Are we going to come across them? Because it seems as though now Yennefer and Geralt are both in Ciri's timeline. You know, Yennefer started way in the past, then Geralt was like, you know, they've come now all to being in the same timeline with Ciri. And I'm very excited to see whether Ciri's going to come across any of them. Are the mages going to sense her magic and go to her? Just, I feel like everyone might come together in the final episode and it's going to be explosive. So if you would like to watch the unedited version of this reaction, it is up on my Patreon right now. The whole of season 1 is, and the next show I'm going to react to has been chosen. You can also get the edited version 1 week early if you're just desperate to finish the season. That is also up on my Patreon. And yeah, thank you so much to everyone that supports me there, everyone that's supported me here, and I'm just so excited to watch the finale. I'm going to watch it right now, but it will be up next week for you. So yeah, thank you so much for watching.